Hello, and welcome to DataHub Solutions. I'm Douglas, and I am excited to guide you through the inaugural instructional video for ValuPro360, the cutting-edge Excel workbook tailored for real estate professionals. Today, we'll explore the core capabilities of ValuPro360, focusing on its primary function: deriving precise market-based adjustments through regression analysis and comprehensive data integration using PivotTables. As we navigate through ValuPro360, we'll demonstrate how to efficiently import market data and highlight how our sophisticated analytical visuals, such as data-driven charts and insightful graphical representations, clarify those critical adjustments. These tools are not just designed to present data, but to transform it into actionable insights, thereby enhancing the accuracy and credibility of your appraisal reports and comparative market analysis. This session marks the beginning of a series of in-depth tutorials crafted to deepen your understanding and proficiency with ValuPro360. Whether you're fine-tuning your expertise or embarking on this analytical journey for the first time, let's dive into the world of refined real estate analytics with ValuPro360. If this video empowers your valuation process, please remember to like it, subscribe, and share your experience in the comments below. Let's get started. All right, let's get started. ValuPro360, start it up. We're going to start the original workbook. This is when it's the fully blank workbook, ready to go. This is the MLS worksheet, the very first worksheet in the workbook. This is where our data goes, the data we get off the MLS or download from public records, whatever you've done to get your data together. You're going to notice that every one of these columns has a certain data that it wants down each column. The MLS number, having something in here is important. You're going to see why that's important. You know, your status, address, city, and state. Could be just whatever data you want in there. You don't necessarily have to have the exact city, address, or sold, or state, but you need something to occupy that spot. List price, sell price, contract date, sold date, seller's concessions, days on market, site size, year built, gross living area, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, number of half bathrooms, garage capacity. That's all data that you need in there. And whatever rows of data you have over here, all the rows need to be equal. So if you have down to 42 sales, you will have data in every single row in every column. The pools, the shop, solar, barn, and ADU, these are yeses and nos. So let's get scrubbed up MLS data I have here that I've downloaded already from the Flex MLS. As you can see, we have the MLS number, C for close. We got address information, state, list prices, contract date, sell date, seller's concessions, days on market. This is the site sizes. All site sizes are done in acreage. We do not use anything else but acreage. No square footage. I'll give you charts for square footage, but as far as putting your data into the system, it must be in acreage. Then we do year built, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, half baths, and garage parking, 1, 2, 3, 0, however much parking. Then as you can see, the pools, solar, shops, barns, and the guest houses are all done in no's and yeses. No's for not having a pool, yes for having a pool, and so forth. These don't necessarily have to be specifically for pools, solar, shops, barns, and a guest house. These can be anything that you want. These are just things that I use on the most, but these are pretty much can be crafted to what you want. I'll be going over that too later. So right now, all this data has been scrubbed. Doesn't always come out looking like that. We will be doing some scrubbing videos. I'm going to show you how to export your data out of the MLS. I'm going to show you how to scrub it up and get it all up and ready to be imported into the ValuPro360. So right now, we're just going to copy the data, go back to our ValuPro360, and dump the data in. There we go. So you can see everything's been put in. It's all pretty well clean. So we're going to jump to the data analysis page first. It's going to ask you for an effective date of your appraisal or your CMA. This happens to be November 2nd of 23 when this data was done. That was the effective date. It's calculated the day since sale. So it subtracts the contract date from the effective date and gives you how many days since the sale occurred from the contract. Then let's move on to the concessions page. This is the concessions page. We can calculate concessions. Chart comes up. This is giving you 7 different options to use for your concession adjustments. It's giving you the mean or the average value of all the sales, even the ones without concessions that have zeros, and the median of all the sales, even those without concessions, and that's the median. Then it gives us the average or the mean of only the sales with concessions. So all the sales that have no concessions are left out, gives us the median of that too. 5 and 6 is based on a percentage. As you can see down here, the percentage of sales with concessions was 71.43. So what it does is it takes 71.43, multiplies it times the mean or the average of only the sales with concessions to derive that number. That number, number 5, the average and the mean up here are always going to be the same number. The two that change are the medians. So this takes the 71.43% times the median of only the sales with concessions. It gives you that median. The last option is a dollar for dollar adjustment. Now, had there not been any concessions whatsoever, an 8th option would have came up to select 0. In this instance, we're going to select 6. All right, so what it did was it took that adjustment that I used, which number 6 was the median percentage of only the sales with concessions, and it subtracted that from the actual concession and provided the adjustment that's going to be given to the sales. On the concessions chart, you're going to see that there's a sales with concessions, 25, sales without concessions, 10. Gives you the lowest concession, the highest concession, and then runs through all the average and means and medians of all the concessions. I'll give you a button to copy that to the clipboard so you can easily paste it into your reports or Microsoft Word or whatever you're using. We'll go back to the data analysis page. You're going to see that that concession has been put in now, the adjustment for it. And this is the adjusted concession. So this was the concession minus the median of the concession, and then it gave us an adjustment. Then it took the adjustment and subtracted it from the actual sale price to come up with an adjusted sale price for concessions. So moving on, we'll go to market conditions. This is the market conditions. We got to transfer our data in. This will take a second. There we go. All right, so now it's given us some regression info for time adjustments. This is based on a per day adjustment. This is the actual sale price on the contract date, and then this is the adjusted sale price on the contract date. These are the sales that were adjusted for concessions. So actual sale price, adjusted for concession sale price. And then you have the slope or the reported sold dates also. So I give you contract dates and sold dates both for those. Next up, we could remove and restore outliers. Right there, you could see the change on these two charts down here. The outliers have been restored, outliers are removed. I have a thing down here. These are helper columns that runs all the data, all these ranges and everything, and on the charts, these update automatically. But I do have some average standard deviations applying some z-scores to flag out outliers. Anything that has a number less than -2 or greater than +2 will be flagged as an outlier. So you can go over and remove and restore your outliers as you need to. You can remove any cell that you want to from the data set. You can see that the cells are getting removed over on the left. And you can see the numbers on the charts fluctuate based on that. You can include all those cells back in. And now you can also remove all cells with amenities. So that's going to scroll through the pool, solar, shop, barn, and ADU columns. And if there's a yes, it's going to remove that from the data set. And then you can include them all back in. All right, the next thing we need to do is transfer the adjustment that we want to use to the data analysis page. This is mandatory that you do this. So transfer over. You can use a 0. I give you an option for a 0. You could use charts 1, 2, 3, or 4, and they're all labeled for you. Chart 1, 2, 3, or 4. In this instance, we're going to use chart 3, which is the adjusted sale price for concessions based on the reported contract date. So going back to the data analysis page, you can see that it ran that $60.80 per day adjustment, and it multiplies it by the days since sale, gives you an adjustment for time, and now you have an adjusted sale price for concessions and time. So it took this and that was adjusted for concessions, and it added in the time adjustment and gave you a new adjusted sale price. Now, I have another page down here called the Market Conditions Mean and Median. This is what I call my 24 ways to time. You're going to look down here. The top rows, 2 rows are contract dates. The bottom 2 rows are based on sold dates. The top row on contract date being the actual sale price, and this contract date for the adjusted sale price for concessions. Again, the same down here, but sold date for the actual sale price and the sold date for the adjusted sale price for concessions. The first row here is the median. The first 3 rows are all based on medians. This is your, like on the market conditions, and then in the 7 to 12, 4 to 6, and 0 to 3 months. This will be the median sale prices for every 3 months, and this will be the median sale price for every month. And then we have the means or the averages. This is the average sale price for the 7 to 12, 4 to 6, and 0 to 3 months prior, the average sale price for every 3 months, and the mean average sale price for every month. So we just run the calculations. This is a pretty intense modules that run this. I think there's like 27 or 8 modules that's running right now to calculate all this stuff. So there we go. So as you can see, everything is moved out to helper columns all the way across the book. All the ranges again are automatically updated. Let's just take this one for instance. On the one every month, you'll see that the ranges here are automatically updated. I really didn't enjoy too much of staring around trying to figure out all these different slopes and zoom in and out. So I created a text box over here to show all the calculations. So it goes through and gives you the charts 1, 7, 13, and 19. This is the median sell prices for the 7 to 12, 4 to 6, and 0 to 3. Based on the contract date for the actual sale price, the contract date for the adjusted sale price, the sold date for the actual, and the sold date for the adjusted sale price, and then the means or the averages of those two. And then we do the every 3 months, median and average, and then we do the median and the average for every month. So you can go through. This is a great tool to just kind of verify like what you got going over here. See how this says $60.80, $53, $59, $66. We're going to probably be venturing to say that, yeah, 60 is a good number. So if we went back and we looked at this page, we do got some high numbers and some low numbers, but look, 60, 63, 62, 69, 64, 60, and we get into some 80s and 30s. I would imagine if we took the median or average, we're definitely going to be around the 60ish range. So this was a great way to verify that, hey, you know what? Using this adjustment was pretty good. Now, I do give you the option if you want to use one of these, you can transfer that adjustment to it. You just pick which chart you want, 1 to 24, or a 0 for no adjustment if you don't want an adjustment. Right now, I just used it as verification to know that this adjustment was pretty accurate for what I did. So now we're going to move on to site size. So the first thing I want to show you is that on the data analysis page, we've took the median site size and calculated that, and then we subtracted the actual site size from the median site size, or vice versa, subtracting the median site size from the bigger site size, and came up with a difference between the median site size to get adjustments. This is like having all your houses in the same neighborhood, all on the same size a lot. So we're adjusting for site size. So let's go to our site size adjustment. Transfer the data in. Again, this is a lot of modules, bringing data over, running data, making helper columns, and also doing the outlier columns as well. You can see we do have some outliers here. So let's go back over to our charts. So this is where the acreage in the square footage deal comes in. So I only deal in acreage because you can't write modules to flip flop back and forth between acreage and square footage. But I do give you the corresponding square footage chart. So if you are dealing in square footage, you'll be using that in your report. And so again, you can remove and restore outliers. You can see that things change from the outliers when they're removed. Again, we can include and exclude any cell out of the data set that we want. We can include them back in. We can include all the cells with amenities. I'm only going to show this here again because it does take some time to go through and calculate, but it works. So there we go. So let's include all the cells in again. And then as we did with the market conditions addendum, we do have to transfer our adjustment to the data analysis page. So here we'll transfer. I'm going to pick the third chart. It corresponds with a pretty good square footage adjustment. So I'm going to use chart 3. And again, I still give you an option for 0 if you don't want to do an adjustment at all for site size. Maybe this is negative and you're not going to do a site size adjustment, so you just don't do one. It would just calculate as 0. Again, we're back on the data analysis page. Yeah, $26,124 adjustment seems high, but we're only doing that on the acreage. So look how small the adjustments are. It's 0.03 times that. It's only a $700 adjustment. I think our biggest one was 23, but you got an acre and 1.17 acres there. So that's probably your largest adjustment. As you can see, most of the adjustments are normal. All right, so now you get another adjusted sell price. So this sell price has been adjusted for concessions, it's been adjusted for time, and now it's been adjusted for site size. So we're going to move on to the gross living area. This is the last thing on the data analysis page that we have to worry about. Again, I medianed out, figured the median of the gross living area, and then we subtract it from the other to come up with the difference. So just like all the properties having the same site size, all the houses have the same square footage. So let's go to our gross living area adjustment page, transfer in our data. Again, this is bringing in all our data from the front page, data analysis page to here, creating helper columns, and again, flagging outliers. So again, we can go back, remove and restore outliers. You can see the numbers move on the charts as we do that. You can again include or exclude any cell out of the data set that you do not want in there. So let's say we go through and we move a few of these in and out. And we say, well, okay, well, we're doing, you know what, I want to put them all back in. So we'll include all the cells back in. All right, last page that we really have to transfer any data to the data analysis page in its gross living area. So in this instance, we will use chart 4 this time, $108 a square foot. So going back to the data analysis page, the whole table's been filled out now. So what we're ending up with is you have the actual sell price, you have a sell price adjusted for concessions, you have a sell price adjusted for concessions and time, a sell price adjusted for concessions, time, and site size, and a sell price adjusted for concessions, time, site size, and gross living area. Imagine you go into a neighborhood, all the houses have sold on the same day, they all have the same site size, and they all have the same gross living area. That's what this adjusted sell price at the end would represent. So moving on, we're going to go to the bed and bathroom adjustments and start going down the bed, the bath, the half bath, garage, swimming pools, solar, shops, barns, and ADUs. So let's just start up in the bedrooms up here. So this is why I have 5 adjusted sell prices. Actual sell price, adjusted sell price for concessions, concessions and time, concessions, time, and site size, concessions, time, site size, and gross living area. As with every other page, we will transfer the data over. Everything pops in. So I give you PivotTables, which is the average sell price comparison. So this is taking the average sell prices of 4 bedrooms and the average sell price of 3 bedrooms and subtracting them to give you a value. Now, when you're only dealing with 2 items on the pivot table, such as 4 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, this difference will be the same as the regression amount of that it shows on the slope value of 3,000. So if you took chart 3 here and subtracted those numbers, they would be 3,028 would be the difference. The only time this changes on the regression is when you get 3 or more different. So if we had a 4-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, and a 2-bedroom, the average difference in the sale prices are not going to be the same as the rate of change for the presence of a bedroom. So let's zoom back out. Again, over here, there's 2 different ways to move outliers again. So those are our pivot tables. These are our helper columns for the scatter plots. And again, these are flagging the outliers over here. So what we've created was a column chart, remove and restore outliers. So this will remove and restore the outliers on the column charts. And then this one's going to remove and restore the outliers on the regression charts. And I was tired of trying to remember, oh, did I remove those outliers? What did I do? So I created this little text box here to go, hey, outliers have been removed. The outliers have been restored. Again, you can remove all the cells with amenities and then re-include all cells. You got include and exclude buttons over here. You can exclude and include any cell that you would like to include. Now you're going to find too that I left all the pivot tables open for you. So you can go over here and work on these pivot tables. Suppose you did have 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and 2-bedroom, and you decided you didn't want to show one of those. You would be able to take it off. In this instance, there's 2, so we'll put it back in. Now, something that happened that I ended up being quite a deal that I actually like is that even though these column charts come in with blue and blue columns, it used to be blue and orange, but when I locked this up with XLS padlock, it changed them to blue. But that's quite neat because you can go to the design features now and you can pick any type of column chart that you want to put in here. So that way, if you leave the page and you come back, you go, oh, you know what? That's the one I've used for my adjustment. Unfortunately, it does change the border, so you might want to increase it back up. It's all on how you want to do it. Let's see, moving on, bathroom. Same thing, transfer the data over and all the data comes in. We can remove the column charts. Those are the outliers. We can remove the scatter plots from the outliers. Remove all cells, include all cells, remove any cell that you do not want in your data set. You can see the numbers change as we do this. You can see the pivot tables, column charts change as we do this too. And then we can include them all back in. And again, I leave all the charts open so you can work on them, doctor them up, copy. I think about the worst thing you would have to do on these scatter plots is move that slope around. I'll zoom in here. See, it's got the slope and intercept formula in there. So you can move it around. Now be careful when you are clicking on things. If you happen to grab that and go, oh no, just to go hit your undo button, it's going to bring it right back. So I left all that open so you could do. You just can't get into like these text boxes because I didn't want you to accidentally move all that stuff around. All right, so that was bathrooms. Now we'll go to half baths. Transfer the data in for the half baths. Same thing. Just like the bathrooms, just like the bedrooms. Pretty much going to be this way all the way through. I transferred these all over here so you can see all the data in here and decide, you know, what do I want out? Cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, cell 4. You might have to go back up to the MLS or the data analysis page, and then you can scroll over and see the cells that come in. And by the way, just to go back, you see this column cells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way through. This is why on the MLS page that you have to have data in this MLS numbering system here. It could be whatever you want. This page gets these columns based on the amount of data that's in that column. That's why. It just, once you get used to scrubbing this up like this, it all goes pretty fast. So let's go back down to where we were. We were on the half bath adjustment, same thing we did before. Again, you can remove the outliers on the column charts, restore them, do the scatter plots again, outliers removed, outliers restored. And then there's no transferring, like on the first 3 pages. We're not transferring any of this information anywhere. And again, you can go to the design format and pick whatever you want for your column charts. And then let's see. So you can change that back up too. Going on to the garage adjustment, same thing, just like beds and baths. Bring it all over. There you go. You're in control of your data. Do anything you want. Exclude what cell you want. Remove them. You just sit here and change up your data. You could run this down to 2 cells and have a paired cell analysis and have a column chart or a regression chart to support that. We'll include all the cells back in. And now to the pool adjustments and the solar adjustments, all just like that too. Moving everything in. There's your differences. This is the market impact of swimming pools, average sale price comparison. Again, we have 5 different sale prices we're dealing with. Actual sale price, adjusted for concessions, concessions in time, concessions time and site size, concessions time, site size, and gross living area. And in the column charts and the regression charts. And again, about the worst thing you have to do is move this around. Again, all the pivot tables are open so you can do whatever you want in case you have more than cells. This will handle however many you want to put across there. Maybe you got 4 garages, 3 car, 2 car, and 1 car, and no garage. So you got to look at 5 different things. It will do that for you. Just like pools, solar, shops, barns, and ADUs are all the same thing. But as you see, it's just no's and yeses. So suppose you weren't doing ADUs or barns and you wanted to put fireplaces in there. Put a yes and put a no for a fireplace. No fireplace, yes fireplace. No, then you can go in here to these things and you can change the word solar to fireplace. Whatever you want to do. I give you that option. So again, just like all the others, we can do the column charts, gone. Take the outliers out, put them back in. Again, with the scatter plots, you can see the numbers change. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. Scroll it over. See those numbers change. Boom, boom. And again, you can go down to any cells you want out. Run this thing right down to a paired cell analysis. This is called group paired cells analysis. This is clustering is what I like to call it. We'll include the cells back in. And then zoom back out. I'm holding the control button to zoom in and out. Then shop, same thing. This is for whatever amenity you have. It really doesn't necessarily have to be shops or barns or ADUs. These are just things I work with a lot. We're very rural. I deal with a lot of rural properties with barns and shops. Right down to the barn adjustment. We'll transfer the data over. Now, yeah, I don't think, you do not want to rename any of these worksheets either, because all my modules are written to look at these worksheets. So you don't want to go around removing the worksheets or renaming them. And you don't want to rename any of these columns up here either. Not here. Well, you can't get into those ones. That one. Oh, no, you can. You don't want to rename anything because I got modules that look at those and go down here and look at these. And that's how it moves all the data appropriately to where it goes. All the way down to the outlier columns too. Let's see what else we got. Last one, ADU. Bring it in. And again, removing and restoring outliers. Removing and getting rid of whatever cell you want. Again, you can go up in here and change your design chart to whatever you want. There you go. So then if you right click on this up here, you can jump around to any worksheet that you want in here. All the way up to the MLS page. All right, so let's say you're done, you've gotten your adjustments, or you're going to take off, you got to go do an inspection or something, or it's the end of the workday. You're going to save this file. Just go in, file, save. And it's going to prompt you to say, okay, where do you want to save this thing? To me, I'm just going to save this one on the desktop. And we'll just call it test. There we go. We'll save it. Then we'll close it. Don't need to save it again. That was our MLS data tester. Now then, we're going to go back in. We want to open that file up this time. Well, we're just going to go back to ValuPro360. And instead of using the original workbook, we're going to choose a saved file this time. It's on the desktop, and we know it's called test. And we open it. And it should bring us right back to where we left off. And yes, it did. We can go back in, look at anything, continue working, make some decisions. Oh, this is vacant land. That's not in this video. This will be an instructional video for another day. This has a vacant land sales area in it. In case your site sizes wasn't working out with the residential application to it, maybe you want to look up vacant land sales and use that for an adjustment, or you're doing a land appraisal only and you want to do your adjustments on here. You'd be bringing in your sold dates, your sell prices, and your site sizes, again in acreage, only acreage. And this thing even adjusts for time. Update the scatter plot ranges. Everything goes over to helper columns. And so it'll update the scatter plot ranges. It'll do the market condition adjustment, and it'll give you, so you'll have an actual sell price and then an adjusted sell price for time. So this is actual sell price, market conditions, vacant lands. This is vacant lands adjusted sell price, and then this is vacant land over here, actual sell price. And these are in acreage and these are in square footage. They get converted over to square footage over here. Everything will convert to square footage. So you can have the applicable chart to choose from on that. We'll go over that on another day. So hey, there we go. A pretty quick video, just kind of demonstrating what we do. It's not all that difficult to run, especially for guys that already pull out their data from an MLS and are used to scrubbing it. Just scrub it in this order and plop it in here, and everything is done just on modules and buttons. There's no dragging, no building, no doing nothing. Well, thanks for watching, and I will come up with some more videos to keep on going through this workbook. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and share.